Wednesday, December 18th, 2019 at 1:05 p.m. I made the decision of a lifetime. I was finally ready to propose. Now, I'll share, every day for the year leading up to that date, I was putting aside money, saving, going to work every day, and saving money. Now, I was not saving money for a ring though. I was saving money to invest in real estate. But on that fateful day, I finally got my priorities straight, or so they say. So I walked into my buddy's jewelry store with one goal in mind: get the best ring for the best price. Wow, there are a lot of options. I didn't do any research beforehand. Where do I even start? First mistake. Okay, well, I feel like 1 carat is kind of the standard for everybody. So, what do you have that's bigger? Second mistake. Well, what's your budget? How about you show me what you got and we'll go from there. Third mistake, and the perfect pitch for an impulse buyer's home run. The truth was, I had just a ballpark number idea of how much I wanted to spend, but I didn't really budget out and calculate that number beforehand. And as he laid out the diamond options before me, naturally, I gravitated towards the biggest one. Bob, you got me. All right, how much for the one that I already sold myself on? Yeah. That's a beauty, ain't it? So, for the diamond with the band plus tax, let's see here. You said you wanted the diamonds on the band as well, right? Yep. Okay, you're gonna wanna put the bigger diamonds on the band so that it matches the bigger center diamond as well. Trust me, this is what your girl's gonna want. I gotta do it. Okay, Bob, you're the expert. For everything with tax, can be just over 18,000. Even though I thought I was ready for this commitment, that internal voice of doubt and hesitation kicked in right at that moment. Do you actually want to get married yet? I mean, she's an amazing girl, but should we just wait another year or two just to see how things go? And the hesitation wasn't, I can't afford this, because I had the cash. I had been saving the cash for real estate. That was the real issue I was dealing with. It was, I don't want to spend this much money and take it away from my real estate savings to purchase a ring. This was my moral dilemma as I began to negotiate with my buddy Bob. Bob, that's more than I wanted to spend, honestly. Is there any way you could work with me on the price? Quality question. First win. What price do you have in mind? I was really thinking I didn't want to spend more than 15. Now that's a pretty big hit for me, but I think I can make that work. Are you f***ing kidding me? A $3,000 discount? Bob, if you can make that work on your end, let's close the deal right now. And then right as we settle on a price, a moment of inspiration hits me. What if instead of dipping into my savings, I flip a house and cover the cost of the ring? Another quality question, in win number 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it. Bob, what kind of financing do you guys have here? You can sign up for this credit card with 0% interest for 12 months. Is that something you want to do? That's perfect, let's do it. Just make sure you pay the credit card off before the 12 months is up, because 22% interest, you do not want that. As I was driving home, my rational prefrontal cortex thinking kicked back in, my emotions settled down, and I began to think about what I had just done. I mean, the plan was simple, really. Buy a house, fix it up, and sell it for a profit of at least $15,000 to cover the cost of the ring. In theory, it's a very simple plan. But I'll tell you, on that Wednesday in December, I had been looking for a house to flip since April of that year. For 6 months, I had been daily looking at the market. I would tour anything that looked promising. I put in offers always to get outbid because the real estate market in this area was on fire at the time. But you know the saying, when the student's ready, the teacher appears? Yoda or someone like that. For me, it was, In a moment of need, the opportunity presents itself. My grandpa Lars, that's a quote from him. 4:30 that afternoon, I get an email. New MLS listing. This was not uncommon for me. I was getting 5 to 10 MLS listings a day, so I didn't think anything of this one, but I opened it up, looked at it. Oh, this looks kind of promising. As I looked a little closer, it was the right price, the right location, what looked like the right opportunity for a house flipper. So I sent an email to my realtor, who also happens to be a highly accomplished house flipper himself. Great guy to have in your back pocket. And I asked him, what do you think of this place? Does this look like a good opportunity? He emails me back immediately. This could be a good option. We should go tour it. Deals like this go really fast, so we scheduled our tour for 6 o'clock that night. As far as I know, we were the first people in the house after the listing came up. And as we toured the place, we discovered it was much more of an opportunity than we had anticipated. The pictures really didn't do it justice. It was the right price, the right location, and based off of our projections for the cost of renovation, that fit within our budget. And it was the perfect time of year to be able to fix this place up quick and get it on the market in the spring. All the stars were aligning. So what did we do? We put in an offer at 8 p.m. that evening. And I expected we would go into a bidding war over this place. Because really, it, from what I could tell, seemed like the perfect flipper's opportunity. Now call it manifestation, divine timing, or just plain old good luck. But within 24 hours after purchasing this ring, I went from having no plan, no house, to having a goal, a timeline, and an accepted offer on a house. That's right, we got it. Now here's the point that I'm trying to illustrate. The moment that I put a stake in the ground, declared that I had a problem that needed a solution, that's when the earth and the heavens around me opened up and provided an opportunity. I had been thinking about flipping a house for 6 months, and I thought I was taking action. I was reading the books, listening to the podcasts, networking with real estate people, but it wasn't until I took massive action and declared that flipping a house is going to pay for this purchase I just bought. There's no other options, that a house magically manifested on the same day. Everything is a reflection of ourselves. Business problems are personal problems in disguise. Anytime I'm having issues in my business, it's not an issue with my clients or the economy or the news or anything. The issue is always with me. So when I was hesitant, wishy-washy, and uncertain, the world always reflected that back to me. I would always be just a couple hours late on putting my offer in on a house, or I'd be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 below the current bid. Things just weren't working out until I became super certain, declared this is what's gonna happen, and I took the action to make it happen. But I will say, I never would have created this opportunity for myself had I not asked better questions. Right out of the gate, I asked if there was any sort of deal that could be made with purchasing the ring. That was a quality question and worked out in my favor. It never hurts to ask. The second quality question was, what if instead of dipping into my savings, I use the savings that I've actually set aside and utilize it for the purpose that I set it aside for, and then use the profits on the real estate deal to pay for the ring? Honestly, one of the best questions I've ever asked myself, and the reason why I'm making this video today. I want to share my story to show you the power of asking quality questions. So you probably are wondering, Sam, did you flip the house and make $15,000 to cover the cost of the ring? Well, how about you subscribe, and I will share that video with you next week to give you the breakdown on that real estate deal and how it turned out. The actual outcome might surprise you. Did I cover the cost of the ring? Or am I paying 22% in interest on $15,000 right now? Tune in next week. Oh, And you also may be wondering, did she say yes? I gotta do. Okay, Bob.